Okay, that's it. I've got an email, right? Jog my memory. Right. So we had to get a conveyancing company, right, together to sell the home, the marital home, right? And Ken Conveyancing apparently doesn't operate a trust, which is kind of like a critical thing to have figured out when you're going through a divorce and a separation, because neither party trusts one another. So basically what ended up happening was, you see, she moved all the finances away from me, right, into her own account, left me with no money. She moved on into another home and left me in the marital home, right? So I was left in the marital home to service it myself financially. And then also I had the pressure of also getting a job, looking after the kids and caring for them while things were spiraling out of control. And then also selling the house, right? And so Clarity Lawyers had negotiated with Delaney Firms, but really what it is Delaney Firms told Clarity Lawyers what to do, at the guidance I would suspect as a registered firmer, all just a bunch of Ponzi scheme collusion here going on. What they did was they steered it to this conveyancing company that doesn't operate a trust. And what I picked up on was that they had in a legal document had worked out how the sale of the home is going to happen through the conveyancing company, Conveyancing. But what it didn't speak to is the trust that was to be established, where the money was going to be held. And so what I had picked up on was a situation in which we could have ended up selling the house, and then this money would have there would have been this situation where the buyer would have paid this money, but there'd be nowhere for that money to land, right? Which they were hoping on being the circumstance, because I was the one that was still in the house, right? I would have been in a situation where I would have just had to basically go with whatever Delaney Roberts would have said, right? Because if not, I would have been throttling the sale, I think is the term, and there would be damages onto me, right? The guy who hasn't worked in 10 years, right? So fortunately, I picked up on that right away, and I pressed for that. And basically, the solution for that, but basically what I had uncovered was that this was a deliberate attempt to basically fuck me hard. And Michelle Kent at Kent Conveyancing was involved. Also, Michael was the sales agent too. I'll get you his name. This guy here, he was the guy who was selling the house. Okay, now he was a friend of my ex-partner's business associate. Okay. And so he came in to sell the home, okay? And he didn't tell me by the time that I had to agree to this, right? I agreed to this. He tells me after the fact that he's got this relationship, right? And the house had some damage to the front of the home, right? Which I was obviously hoping, because this was going to be a significant portion of the money I would get out of this separation to reestablish myself. I was hoping that we would get some repair on the front of the home. But Michael worked with the other side in preventing that from happening. Again, and what he did was really dishonest. He came in on a weekend without even telling me, and he took photos of the house, the condition of the home. And this was like a Monday morning, right? Like a Monday morning, I think it was like 9 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. on a Monday after I had the boys for the weekend, okay? So the house wasn't, a total loss, but, I think it was 9 and 7 at the time, right? 2 boys, okay? He took photos of whatever he could, the worst case scenario of the house. And then that made its way onto a legal letter of my ex-partner's lawyer's letterhead, Delaney Roberts. And again, it was just pages of just threatening accusations and insinuations as to my inabilities to maintain things and care for the home. And so lots of undue stress, right? Mike Fluck is his name. Yeah. So yeah, basically, I guess it was a small town and everybody colluded and conspired with the family court system, the church. How do you even get into the church yet? Okay, so then I got to sell the house on my own, right? And I had to, I didn't have the money to prepare the house, right? I didn't get any support on that. There was an order for my ex-partner to provide some payments for the house and also spousal support, but those weren't met. Those were partial payments. That's just how it was. Some payments were missed. And so I had to do that work myself. I worked tirelessly, right, to prepare that home for sale, tirelessly. Didn't sleep for a couple weeks there. And I did that all on my own and got that house sold. And I had trouble finding another place too. I had some rental history prior to moving into that home with Lee J. I had my name on the lease agreement there, but I had a hard time finding a place to move into because I had no income, right? Very little funds. And so I found a property from JCS, Courtney, and she, it wasn't my first choice, but in dealing with her, she, and also trying to deal with Lee J myself, we became aware, or I became aware that what Courtney had advised me is that they had no record of me ever being on a lease prior to to moving into the house that I was selling, which was, so we rented from Lee J, 29 Lawson Street, okay? And my name was on that lease. I have the paperwork, I have the emails. I've provided that to Courtney at JCS, but she said no, they had no record of me. So I was, in hindsight, after everything that happened to me, I can say that I feel like that was, I was steered into that property. Now that property that I moved into was filthy, absolutely filthy. I had to spend hundreds of dollars on cleaning it up. And I was also worried about the court being involved in assessing my suitability as a parent. And the house has just had so many problems, damage everywhere. The blinds had mold, visible mold on it. The carpets just smelled like urine and vomit, so I had to carpet clean those a number of times. It's very exhausting, and prepare the other house for sale simultaneously. And now I managed to move into that house. So now I'm in this place. I've got it cleaned up. It's a big step down from where I was. But I've got a place for the boys. Now I've got my neighbor across the street, Wayne. Nice guy, first appearances, okay? But he's involved with this church, Hunter Bible Church, which I did enjoy going to, pardon me, but I'm not going to get into that yet. I'll do that in another video. Talk to you later.